and old debate, no matter whoever has been in power at the center. The confrontation between the executive and the legislature on one side and the judiciary on the other. But another controversy has been kicked off by recent comments coming in from the Vice President. Vice President himself is someone who has been a part of the judiciary, but he is talking in multiple contexts. What is very significant is that even as the hearing in the bunch of petitions against the work of bill was going on day 2 inside the Supreme Court, outside the Vice President, while addressing a gathering, made important points. His first biggest attack came on Article 142. Article 142 gives the right to the judiciary to overturn or pass any verdict against any law which has become a reality on the grounds that if it is required to protect the Constitution. That is where they have been called this article as a misguided missile by the Vice President of India. And the comment he really made has led to a lot of outrage as far as the opposition parties are concerned. Just to recap very quickly, what is it that the VP was talking about? First of all, he raised a question over the whole idea of judicial propriety, how the judges have to be above board. He was talking also in the context of the huge amount of cash which has been discovered at the residence of Justice Verma. Apart from that, in the context of Article 142, he also raised a question over many decisions which have been taken by the judiciary, whether it was on the NJAC, whether it has been in the recent case of Wakaf. The point which the Vice President was trying to make was that why should the judiciary have unfettered rights? Recently, the Supreme Court had also come out with a mandate that the President or the Governor will have to give their notification within 3 months. What the VP is questioning is that how can you give this kind of a deadline to the head of the nation or the state? Because every time the President decides to put her stamp or signature on a bill to become a law, it is done only after she gathers legal opinion, and therefore to force her to give this kind of a timeline is absolutely unfair. Obviously, as expected, this has stirred up a lot of controversy and confrontation with the opposition parties who look at judiciary as a last resort where they can get what they call justice, which can be a check on the executive and the legislature as a needless interference by the Vice President of India. In fact, the Trinamool Congress not had a very good equation with the Vice President, which we often see inside the Parliament. Kalyan Banerjee, remember, he was accused of mimicking the VP. He said the Vice President should be removed from his post. I think when the next Parliament session begins in July, that is going to be another point of confrontation between the two sides. There's a complete breakdown of communication and trust between the Vice President on one hand and the opposition parties on the other. And even voices from within the Congress and others are also objecting to the comments coming in from the Vice President. While the government is more guarded and nuanced in their comments, the government is also saying that a line has to be drawn. This is once again going to throw up this entire NJAC type of an argument. Remember when it was struck down recently, this entire controversy began on whether the government is mulling the possibility regarding the appointment of judges. That was in the context of the Justice Verma case. So this is not a controversy expected to die down soon, and certainly not going to be seeing a closure.